Now, let's stay with Israel's military campaign in Gaza and look at the protests against it that are sweeping across college campuses in the US. Nationwide rallies, during which there have been hundreds of arrests, are showing no sign of stopping. At UCLA, a pro-Palestinian encampment has grown in size in recent days, as has a group of pro-Israeli counter-protesters. On Sunday, there were skirmishes between the pro-Palestinian and pro-Israel groups after a barrier separating the two sides was breached. Let's hear from a protester there.
We heard about the counter-protesters showing up. They're trying to show up saying that this protest is full of hatred. So we're just here to counter them. We want to show support to the UCLA protesters who have been here in the encampments.
Well, the White House has insisted demonstrations must remain peaceful. Here's the National Security Council spokesman, John Kirby, speaking to ABC.
We certainly respect the right of peaceful protest. People should have the ability to air their views and to share their perspectives publicly, but it has to be peaceful. We'll leave it to local authorities to determine how these protests are managed, but we want them to be peaceful protests, and obviously we don't want to see anybody hurt in the process of peacefully protesting. But again, the president understands that.
Well, the students are calling for their universities to boycott companies and individuals with ties to Israel. Major protest camps and demonstrations were first seen at Columbia University in New York. Since then, though, they've spread across the United States. Take a look at this. It shows the universities with the biggest protests. The University of Southern California has cancelled its graduation ceremony on what it says are safety grounds. In Austin, Texas, the governor ordered state troopers to arrest demonstrators. There have also been hundreds of arrests at universities in Texas, Atlanta, California and Virginia. These pictures you're seeing here are from Virginia Tech. Well, our North America correspondent Nomia Iqbal is currently in Columbia University in New York for us. And Nomia, Columbia University administrators have ordered students participating in the campus encampment there to disband or face disciplinary action. Have they disbanded? It looks like, judging from what's happening behind you, that they haven't.
They haven't. Yes, the encampment is behind me, and students got a notification around about midday to say that there was this call for them to disband by 2 p.m. That came from the president of the university, President Shafiq, who's under fire by students because of the way riot police went in last week. She's also under fire from right-wing politicians who say she's not doing enough to stop these protests on campus, which they have claimed are anti-Semitic, something that the pro-Palestinian protesters have completely denied. But what's happening at the moment is that you've got students, and they're not part of the encampment, they are other students who have joined in support of the students inside the encampment, and they're sort of circling around. If we can just have a look. Some of them are walking around and they've been chanting the demands, which is boycott, divest and sanction, sort of outlining what it is the students want. Essentially, the students want Columbia University, and this is the same demands that students are making at other protests around the country. They want their institutions to effectively cut economic and academic ties with Israeli institutions. And I've been speaking to students all weekend, and they say all those demands have to be met. But the president of this university today said that the negotiations have failed, which means those demands aren't being met, and the university president, the administrators want the students to essentially clear out. They have said they're going nowhere. And just as we were coming in, we saw the police setting up barricades. We saw one police officer with zip ties. I did ask them, what is the plan? Do they plan to go in and arrest students again? But of course, they said no comment. So right now, the situation is, you know, students have been very kind of, the ones that I've been speaking to, not just here, but NYU as well, a campus that's a university that's 30 minutes away. They are feeling tense, but also they are adamant that they're not going anywhere until their demands are met. But the university wants them out, particularly by May the 15th here, which is when it's graduation day.